His hands were trembling. He was losing blood, but he didn't stop. "God, let me save just one more," he said. Then one more, then one more. He repeated it 75 times, and he never carried a weapon. This is the story of Desmond Doss. The army called him a coward. His comrades hated him, but he became one of the bravest men in history. Wait until you hear what they did to him in training and what he did on that ridge that made grown men cry. 1919, Virginia, a small town. Desmond Doss was born to a poor family. His father was a World War I veteran, a man who had seen the horrors of war and turned to alcohol for refuge. When young Desmond was 10 years old, something happened. He got into a fight with his brother Harold, a child's fight, innocent, but suddenly it became serious. Desmond picked up a brick and hit his brother in the head. Harold fell. Blood flowed. Desmond froze. Did I kill him? His mother ran. They took Harold to the hospital. Thankfully, he lived. But Desmond understood something that day, how easy it was to kill. That night, he cried in his bed. On the wall hung a picture, the 10 Commandments. The 6th commandment, "Thou shalt not kill." Desmond never forgot that night, and he made a vow to himself, "I will never harm anyone again." Years passed. Desmond became a young man devoted to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Saturday worship, strict adherence to the Bible, and most importantly, nonviolence. "Thou shalt not kill" was absolute for him. 1941, Pearl Harbor. Japan attacked America. The nation went to war. Desmond was 23 years old. All the young men around him were enlisting. His family was shocked. "You're not going, are you? You have your beliefs." Desmond paused. Then he said, "I'm going, but I won't carry a weapon. I'll be a medic. I won't kill people. I'll save them." His father went crazy. "They'll kill you, son. You can't go to war without a weapon." Desmond remained calm. "God will protect me." And he enlisted. But there was something Desmond didn't know. The army didn't want him. 1942, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, training camp. When Desmond arrived on his first day, he put on his uniform, got in line. The sergeant yelled, "Get your rifles!" Desmond raised his hand. "Sergeant, I won't carry a rifle." The sergeant stopped. "What did you say?" "Due to my religious beliefs, I cannot carry a weapon. I want to serve as a medic." Silence. Then laughter. The other soldiers laughed. The sergeant approached Desmond. "Did you come here for a vacation, boy? This is war. You'll carry a weapon." "No, sir, I won't." From that day on, Desmond's hell began. But what the army did to him next was worse than anyone could imagine. The other soldiers called him coward. "He's mocking us," they said. One night, someone said, "He's coming to war with us, but unarmed. He'll get us killed." Another, "Maybe he'll die by accident in training." Desmond heard this as he tried to sleep in his bunk, but he said nothing. During morning drills, as Desmond ran, someone deliberately tripped him. He fell. "Sorry, didn't see you," the soldier said, but his eyes were full of hate. The sergeant saw, but did nothing. Another day, while Desmond was showering, someone hid his boots. He had to walk barefoot until his feet bled. The commander called him in. "Doss, you're not fitting in here. I'm sending you for psychiatric evaluation." "Sir, I'm not crazy. I just have my beliefs." "Your beliefs will get you killed, son, and worse, they'll get others killed." But the worst came on Saturday. In Desmond's faith, Saturday was the Sabbath, a holy day of rest. Work was forbidden. "Commander, Saturday drill, everyone participates." Desmond, "Sir, I cannot participate. My religious beliefs." "That's an order, Doss. God's command comes first, sir." The commander exploded. "I'll court-martial you, insubordination." And they actually did. Desmond faced military imprisonment or demotion. Military courtroom. Desmond sat alone. Across from him, 3 officers, judges. "Private Doss, we ask you, why do you refuse to carry a weapon?" "Because the Bible says, 'Thou shalt not kill,' sir." "But you're in the army. The army's job is to kill the enemy." I'm in the army too, sir, but my mission is different, to save lives. The officer leaned forward. Das, if we sent you to the front and your comrades were dying, what would you do? Sit and pray? Desmond's eyes filled. I would try to save them, under bullets, under bombs. I won't have a weapon, but I'll have courage. Silence. Officer, you're insane. Desmond, maybe, but God has shown me my mission. The trial lasted for days. Finally, a decision was made, but an unexpected one. Private Doss, we're not discharging you, but if any soldier is harmed, you're responsible. Was Desmond afraid? Yes, but he didn't back down. I accept, sir. But here's what nobody knew yet. The real test was still coming, and on that day, everyone who called him coward would take it back. Training continued, but something had changed. Some soldiers began to respect Desmond. One night, a soldier, Hal, approached him. Doss, I'm sorry. I treated you wrong. You're different, but you're brave. Desmond smiled. No problem. But not everyone thought that way. The real test would come in battle, and there, no one trusted Desmond. 1945, April, Okinawa Island, Japan. The American Army's last major offensive. It was the gateway to mainland Japan. Desmond's unit, 77th Infantry Division, made the landing on the island. The first days were violent. Japanese soldiers were resisting, but the worst point hadn't come yet. Hacksaw Ridge, Maeda Escarpment. A 400-foot cliff. Japanese soldiers were positioned on top. Climbing from below meant death. Commander, we're taking this ridge. Get ready. Desmond's company prepared, but no one spoke to Desmond. A soldier whispered, "We're going to die because of him. There's an unarmed man with us." Another, "Maybe he'll fall off the ladders." Desmond heard, but remained silent. 5 a.m., the assault began. American soldiers climbed the cliff using cargo nets and rope ladders. As they climbed, Japanese machine gun fire began. Bullets whistled past, soldiers fell, some died, some were wounded. Desmond was climbing too, no weapon, just a first aid kit. When they reached the top, the real hell began. Grenades, mortar shells, machine guns, fire from every direction. Desmond saw a soldier fall, shot in the leg, blood spurting. Desmond ran, bullets hitting around him. He reached the soldier. "I'm getting you out, hold on." He dragged the soldier, got him behind a rock, bandaged his leg. "Hold on, I'll save you." But the assault was too intense. The commander yelled, "We're retreating, get down." American forces began to retreat, down the ladders. But there was a problem. Wounded soldiers were left on the ridge. No one went back. It was too dangerous. Except Desmond. The sun was setting. The ridge was falling into darkness. Desmond stood at the edge of the cliff. Below, his comrades waited. Above, wounded soldiers. Desmond made a decision. He went back, up to the top of the cliff. A soldier yelled, "Doss, what are you doing? Get down." Desmond didn't answer. He kept running. What happened next on that ridge would become one of the greatest acts of courage in military history. The ridge was quiet now. Japanese soldiers had also pulled back, temporarily. Desmond found the first wounded man, shot in the chest, couldn't breathe. Desmond knelt. "I'm getting you out. God is with you." He began dragging him, but he was too heavy, over 200 pounds. Desmond wasn't that weight himself, but he kept pulling. He reached the edge of the cliff. Problem: how to get him down. There was rope. Desmond made a knot system he'd taught himself. He tied the wounded soldier to the rope, slowly lowered him down. The soldiers below were shocked. "That's Doss. He's lowering a wounded man." The first man was saved. Desmond went back up. God, he prayed, let me save just one more. Second man, legs blown off, crying. Desmond, be quiet, I'm taking you home. He bandaged, dragged, tied to rope, lowered him down. 2 men saved. God, just one more. Third man, shot in the arm. Fourth man, shot in the stomach. Fifth man, head injury. Desmond didn't stop. For each one the same prayer. God, just one more. Night progressed. It was dark. Desmond was finding the wounded by feeling his way. Some were dead. Desmond closed their eyelids, prayed, moved on. But some were alive, and every living one was hope. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. His hands were trembling from exhaustion, from adrenaline, but he didn't stop. God, just one more. Near dawn, something happened. As Desmond was dragging a wounded man, Japanese soldiers appeared. Desmond froze. A Japanese soldier raised his rifle, aimed at Desmond. Desmond closed his eyes. God, I'm ready. He pulled the trigger, but the gun didn't fire. The Japanese soldier was surprised. He tried again. Again, it didn't fire. Another Japanese soldier tried. 3 times, the gun didn't go off. The Japanese whispered, then they withdrew. One of them said, "This man is blessed, don't touch him." When Desmond opened his eyes, he was alone. He didn't know what had happened, but he continued, God, just one more. Wait until you hear what happened when he finally came down that cliff and what the men who called him coward said. 7 a.m. Desmond lowered the last wounded man. Total, 75 men. Then he too came down. Below, his unit was waiting. Desmond could barely stand. His hands were covered in blood, not his, but others. The commander approached. His eyes were filled. Das, you saved 75 men. Desmond nodded. God saved them, sir. I was just his hands. The soldiers quietly applauded. The man who had called him coward before approached. Das, I'm sorry. You're a real hero. Desmond smiled. No, I just did my duty. But the war wasn't over yet. A few days later, they assaulted Hacksaw Ridge again. This time, they took the ridge. But Desmond was wounded. A grenade exploded. His leg was shattered. Other soldiers put him on a stretcher, but as they were carrying the stretcher, Japanese machine gun fire came. The stretcher bearers took cover. They left Desmond. Desmond got off the stretcher. Crawling, he found a wounded man. He saved him. Then he gave his own stretcher to another wounded man. He's in worse condition. Take me later. He waited 5 hours in pain, but didn't complain. Finally, he was rescued. October 1945. White House, Washington, D.C. President Harry S. Truman spoke at the Medal of Honor ceremony. This medal is awarded for extraordinary courage. Desmond Doss saved 75 men without carrying a weapon. He is a true hero. Desmond received the medal, but in his speech he said, "This medal isn't mine. It represents the lives of those 75 men and God's grace." Desmond Doss returned to Virginia after the war. He contracted tuberculosis, a gift from the war. One of his lungs was removed, but he didn't complain. He got married, had children, lived quietly. The press declared him a hero, but Desmond always said the same thing. I'm not a hero. The real heroes were my comrades who didn't come back. In 2006, Desmond Doss died. He was 87 years old. At his funeral, some of the soldiers he'd saved came, now old men. One spoke. In 1945, on Hacksaw Ridge, I was supposed to die, but Desmond saved me. That's why I'm here today. That's why I have children. That's why I have grandchildren. Desmond didn't just give me life, he gave me a future. In 2016, Mel Gibson made the film Hacksaw Ridge. The world learned Desmond's story, and people understood courage is not carrying a weapon. Courage is standing up for what you believe in. Courage is saying yes when everyone says no. Courage is praying, God, just one more, 75 times.
His hands were trembling. He was losing blood, but he didn't stop. God, let me save just one more, 75 times, without ever carrying a weapon. Desmond Doss taught us this. True strength is not in killing, but in saving. True courage is not fighting, but standing without violence. And a true hero is the one who goes back when everyone runs away. In 1945, one man, alone, unarmed, saved 75 lives, and the world never forgot. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe. We keep history's most inspiring moments alive together, because sometimes the greatest weapon is faith.